Okay, so we're here at the infamous La Catedral. The fucking puma, mate. What's happening? So today we're going to visit the infamous La Catedral, okay, where Pablo Escobar imprisoned himself. But apart from this infamous history, it's also a great example of the nature Medellín has to offer, okay. So surrounding Escobar's old infamous prison is loads of nature, waterfalls you can swim in, famous hikes, and beautiful views of Medellín, okay. So alongside this dark, kind of bitter, traumatic history, you've got the beautiful nature that this whole region has to offer. Up on those hills, beyond those trees, is the hills of Envigado above Medellín. And it was in those hills during the 1990s where Pablo Escobar was imprisoned in the now infamous La Catedral was its name. So after like loads of fighting between the government and Pablo's men, government were desperate after like several bombings in Bogota, after Pablo murdered a politician, or had a politician murdered as well, I believe, after he tried to get into government. And the government were desperate, as people were desperate as well. Escobar at this time still had some kind of respect, especially in Medellín, and they agreed to let him build his own prison in exchange for him surrendering. Okay, so he built this prison, La Catedral, up in the hills of Envigado where we're staying now. And this is where he was imprisoned, which was not a prison, right? It was a luxury mansion that had a jacuzzi, pool table, soccer pitch or football pitch, where Maradona came and played a game with him one time. They snuck in like women of the night, drugs, alcohol. They still held business meetings. It's rumoured, and you would have remembered from the show Narcos, that he killed one of his business partners in jail as he began to get very paranoid. So things were running just as normal for Escobar and his cartel when he was in this so-called prison. I guess the question is, why does Escobar come up so much when you talk about Colombian history? Like, why does this drug lord receive so much attention? And the truth is because it's complete influence on almost every part of Colombian life during the late part of the 20th century, and you still see that influence now. It's extremely interesting, intriguing as well, as long as you don't glorify it, right? People tend to get a little bit irritated if you glorify it. Of course, he did some nice things that you consider, especially for a drug lord, right, that like people like El Chapo would never do. Like, he built homes in Medellín for the homeless. He handed out money. He managed to get into government in Bogota and stuff like this as well, right? Whole famous thing in the Narco series, and in a book called Narco Ball, he burnt his, like $1 million or something like that, to warm up his children as they were hiding out, right? So he does these things that seem quite human, but of course he does all these things that seem very non-human as well, right? He blew up a plane, kidnapped people, killed politicians, bombed government buildings that killed innocent people, rigged elections, and a whole handful of other stuff. Okay, buen dia. So we're in the forest above Envigado just now. Obviously it's got the infamous history with the Escobar prison, but it's also surrounded by loads of lovely nature as well. Oh, I think I just saw a squirrel there. So we're going to walk through, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but there are a couple of waterfalls anyway. There are two kind of famous ones. One called, Cascada del Silencio, so a silent waterfall, so we'll see about that. And then Cascada Santa del Angel, or Santo, can't remember. And you can swim in them as well. So yeah, we're gonna go and explore a bit in this cloud forest. Hopefully we don't see any wild beasts.
I hope so.
Look at this. Seems like we'd have to come far, but you're literally a couple minutes away from just like a normal barrio, normal town called Salado. So it's just you can access nature here in Medellín in minutes, basically. Insane views up here. Still got a fair bit to climb, it looks like. Look at that already. Just kind of see the northern part of the city over there. river that goes right through the Alburo Valley. Oh! This is chilly, bro. Oh. So it's very loud, I doubt you'll be able to hear this. But we got a bit lost.
Yeah, no waterfalls for us.
You can get a taxi much closer, but we wanted to walk. And then we met an old guy and he said it would take like 5 hours, so we're going to come back another day, but there's still plenty of waterfalls like this. This one's obviously quite shallow and, well, it's quite deep, but
It's good though.
so fresh though, completely clear. We sit here, like a little reclining chair. Fuck. So we're sat in a little waterfall down here, but up that way is where the other waterfalls are, right?
Go another day.
Yeah, and up that way is also where La Catedral is, right? It's like parallel to the waterfall, so it would have been around this area where Escobar escaped his prison, so-called, when the government came to arrest him, and he would have escaped through these woods, this forest area. Forgetting these hills we've got to go up, man.
Look, shut on.
Yeah.
Look, my little friend is coming with me.
The toothbrush.
No, the bird.
Alright, probably about halfway finished the climb now.
Oh my god.
Hey buddy, hi. You still excited? Hi bud. Hi. Hi. Saying hello. Saying hola.
What? That's not as bad. Loud.
Coming to the end of this walk now. Right, so we're trying this again. We went to the wrong waterfall last time, so we're going to try and go this time. We have to go to La Catedral first and walk from there. So I'm confused about, was it just all his?
Are you one of those crazy pumas?
Okay, so we're here at the infamous La Catedral, the prison that Pablo Escobar built for himself after he had to hand himself over to the government. I think I mentioned it already, but the government were desperate. After various bombings, they needed some peace, so they agreed to let Pablo Escobar put himself in prison under his own terms, and he basically did it up on these hills above Envigado, Medellín. You can see the whole city there. It's now being converted into kind of like a monastery run by monks. I believe this was his area down here. I think if I remember correctly, they tried to make it look almost prison-like from the outside, right? They didn't want it to seem lush and luxurious, but of course on the inside it had all sorts. I know that was, and then inside they had all the luxury. So this is where he lived after he handed himself in when he was hiding out in Panama. But of course the reason he built it up here was because he was worried about enemies tracking him down, so he had a good sight of them. And it was also because, right, probably more importantly, he was worried about the government coming to get him, because the government didn't see this as a permanent solution, obviously. So they came to arrest him, and then he escaped through some sort of secret tunnel into these woods. And this place became abandoned and he was on the run again, essentially. But crazy dark, interesting part of Colombian history, but it's closed obviously. But also nearby here there are some waterfalls that we tried to get to the other day. So
This is a disaster.
we just spoke to a guy who, well, he was wearing some kind of uniform, and I don't know, he was speaking really fast and there was a truck coming past, but he was basically saying you can't visit it, there's been an accident. So there's fucking tigers kicking about. Yeah. Needy, brother, so needy. The place is closed, or the waterfall trail's closed, and there's obviously no Wi-Fi up here. We're walking down this road, but this would have been the road, unless they built a new one since then, but that Escobar smuggled people, things into jail. Smuggled in like his men so they could speak and stuff like that. Smuggled in Maradona, I think. Members of the Colombian and Atletico Nacional team. Booze and all that, I'd imagine. Oh, there's... The fucking puma, mate.
Hi.
Here then. Oh yeah. Still so high up.
Oh my god. We're back up to La Catedral, and turns out that the waterfalls are just closed for like 4 months because somebody died. I think it's dangerous to like walk from here. I don't know if you can walk from the other way.
Said a rock fell.
I'd imagine not though. So we're back up at the La Catedral.
So yeah, can't visit the waterfalls, so I guess this video will just have La Catedral in it. And swim in that other waterfall. Obviously very serious kind of traumatic history. It sort of exemplifies that how much power he had, that he could just pretend to arrest himself and then escape whenever he wanted. But I think this is actually where it was. Yeah, I'm not sure how much they've changed it or whatever since, but yeah, I know they purposely made it look like unassuming from the outside and then luxurious on the inside. But
We're doing this walk again. Never been to the waterfalls and we're doing this walk again.
we're back on this long back road. Something very odd happened there just before we headed back down. A guy who was like gardening in the monks bit, like where the church has been built up at La Catedral, was like whistling us over and said, the guy told me that you can now enter, even though they told us you can't enter, it's closed for 4 months.
Before, yeah.
And then I thought the guy had some bizarre accent. I think he was like maybe Brazilian and he was speaking a mishmash of the two, or either that or he had the most mental. So much so that the other guy translated earlier, so that's how mental the accent was. So there was a bit of a communication breakdown, but he was basically saying you can go in, and he let us in, and then he was talking about if we got money for a tip for someone from the municipality if you see them. Yeah. So, and then it made me think that like he was maybe saying you're not actually allowed in, but if you are in, give someone you see some money. Which made us feel weird, so we just left. So now we're walking back down the hill.
It was strange though, because like he was there when the guy explained to us that it's closed for 4 months, and then the other guy that said definitely you can't come in left, and then he was like, "Oh, you can go in now if you're just careful." Yeah. So I don't know.
So we didn't make it to our waterfall, so we're just up getting some food up here. Very nice.
Like nearly 4k from up at La Catedral down to this like restaurant.
San Felipe it's called. Nice fresh juice. Back on the Mora because we're up in the Andes.
No, it came with go out.
Punta de Anca, not bad. De Peria. Nice. San Felipe, good bit of grab, stuck in the rain now. Big thunderstorm. No waterfall.
Taxi.
But you can go up and see La Catedral. And you can find some waterfalls as well, and they're just not like very deep.
Fuckers, man.
What?
Biting me.